Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and we're back in Transport Fever 2 Japan where we're hanging out at Yoshida. We're going to pick up from where we left off last time. I've got 2 and a bit billion in the bank. I'm fairly certain that's going to cover me for the plans I have next. So we're looking at Yoshida because this is where I'm going to expand from today. Everybody's ankles appear to be sinking through the platform, which is, well, it's not desirable, but they don't seem to be struggling too much under the pressure of it all. Yet in the first series, we managed to create a very successful, at least a highly paying network that is making a good chunk of change. Everything's still growing along nicely. Oh, look at the camera work, isn't it something? There it is. It's something. But we got trains coming and going. Got some cars queuing over the bridge. All of that business. Got almost 15 frames a second there. Perfect. If you zoom in, it's not so bad. And then we finished up, if I'm not entirely lost, down at Unime here, where we'd built something of a tourist destination paradise. Yes, it is. Even though very few people want to move in. I mean, look at this. You could go and live up there. There's plenty of housing space available. But no one seems to be interested in making use of it in the slightest. Look, not one ancient built kind of castle, kind of palace kind of deal. Two of them. Oh well. There's no accounting for taste, I suppose. And then a ruddy great tower coming out the top there as well, which is exactly what the doctor ordered. Right, yes. So this time around, we're going to focus less on making money and more on making interesting. Because we've got the bankroll necessary. We're doing, between kind of 50 and 100 million in profit a year. But I am running unprofitable services already, and that's going to continue. But it's okay. Because I can quite easily dial up the cash when we need to. So today's objective, a simple one. We're going to go from Yoshida, heading out towards Akihama. Oh, yeah, I know. I've not necessarily thought it through, and I might put a branch in around here so that we could go over to Seio as well. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I've not actually reviewed Akihama to kind of go, are you suitable for this kind of project? And the answer is, sure it is. Everything's suitable for every kind of project. But from Akihama, you've then got Takayama, you've got Shimodamari down there, you've got Mine. You've got a few different connections to be made, and the only thing that's really missing is anything that sort of leans towards being a passenger hub city to kind of distribute passengers around after that. I mean, I'd say Seio would probably be your best bet. I want to try and avoid stupidly long tunnels this time around, which means I'm probably not going to use Shinkansen as often. Purely because if you're not going to try and get top speed out of a Shinkansen, why are you bothering to use it? You might as well use a little kind of local service instead. Even though this particular run is a nice long one. Don't know. But the reason that I'm kind of procrastinating on getting to work here is because if I decide that Akihama is going to be some kind of hub, I'm going to want to line the station up, or align the station with where it's going to need to go. You see, so you've got a kind of horseshoe line that would go here. You could run Shinjo down through Seio back to Akihama, and then have this as kind of a hub connection to that which has been built before. But it doesn't feel right. I think we'll go point to point and then possibly review it later on and see if there is an alternative. So, for the first time in the series, we're going to apply the bulldozer to the situation and get rid of this bit. Yeah, right here. Yeah, you. It's been lovely knowing you. And they kind of go, you literally just got here. And I kind of go, yeah, I know. All the stories you heard, they were true. And then we'll flatten this down to be the same height as the kind of base layer of the town, and that will give us enough monkeying around space to monkey around quite effectively, I reckon. But I mean, as you can see, that having 2 billion in the bank, I can blow through that. That is something I am more than capable of doing. We've just wasted kind of 25 million on a bit of land flattenage. But it's got to be done. If you want to build something, no. It's got to be done. If you want to build something effective, build effectively. Ah, yes. What a truism that isn't. Right, now, we're going to be attacking this area by, we've already got a branch coming out of, I've reoriented the camera, I don't know where I am. We've got a branch coming out of Yoshida, and my aim is going to be to stay this side of this little mountain range here, well, it's a hill range really, and then try and stay on the same level as we wend our way around the tree line, cutting across here, and then mirroring the coast. Don't know which side of this oil well I'm going to go before working my way to Akahama. So that means the bridge, the station, is in there. Now that does leave an easy peel off. It does leave an easy peel off. Leaves us a peel off that can go to Takayama and beyond. But it also leaves us a straight line run to go to Mikami. That's interesting. This could actually be a Shinkansen route, you know. I think that there's the opportunity to make something good out of this. Right, let's go straight to stations and see what we've got. So let's get a station in and then go from there. I'm going to work with a 3-track to start with, but it might need to be more. I don't know. The reasoning there will be that we'll have 1 terminating, and then 2 that run in a more traditional sense. Let's go for 240 high speed and catenary. Yeah, okay. Let's just take a moment. I've taken a moment. It's all good. It's going to be fine. We'll slap this in here. I'm going to do my traditional and block the station in, and then we'll grab a little bit of road in order to hook up the front side. We'll then hook the back side up and do something convoluted with regard to a bit of street network type action kind of deal. That's the plan. It's been my plan for a very long time, and there's nothing wrong with it. Right, bit of this. Yeah, you're not quite square there. I am. Actually, you might well be. Yeah, okay, yeah, delete the building. Yeah, obviously. And that's why do you think I've been saving up all this money, if not to delete the occasional building? Well, I would say occasional. I mean, most of. They'll be back. You can't turn down this level of town planning excellence. Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure which word I was going for there, but I went with excellence eventually because it felt appropriate to at least try and oversell what I'm doing. Right, we'll make this one a little bit bendy and straight through that bloke's house. Well, no, let's go to this corner. Oh, that would take out more buildings. Well done. Super. Right, good. We still need the other side dealing with, but I can deal with that when I deal with it. Yeah. The reason for doing both sides of the station is because it allows your passengers multiple ways of gaining access. And therefore, that's a good thing. Right, let's go track. Because, I mean, it would be nice to be able to get to the point of actually running something down this today. But, well, we'll see what happens. We're going to go with the old J-slab. Now, as mentioned, what we're going to try and do here is... I'm now reiterating the point again, but this time closer in, yes, is we'll rock straight up through here, a small tunnel to get through there, and then we'll wend our way around the coastline before following the tree line to get up to our connection, which is over there somewhere. I like it. Well, it should be relatively picturesque. I don't exactly know how it's going to pan out, but you know, you've got to build something to figure out exactly what's going to happen. So you build and you make adjustments as you go, and hopefully you end up with something glorious. What we won't end up with is a bit of bridge here. No, that bit of bridge is gone. Do you want to do something, you know, vis-a-vis turning this embankment into something formalised? Yeah, I think I probably will. Right, yeah, that's good. Let's shrinky-dink the brush down a little bit, and then a little bit of something like that. How are you explaining that in a geological kind of a fashion? Hard to say, but the smoothing gun will make it work. If you say so, okay, alright, I believe you. Right, yeah, that's all solid. And then smoothing gun, ease it into the landscape, just ease it in, ease it on in there. And then you've probably got some kind of, event in eons past that would have made that a thing. You're going to put the road back in? Nah, not yet. I might do it later. I might not. You know, it really depends on how the mood takes me. Right, slap that through there. Now, I haven't explored the new tunnel menu. I think you've missed that opportunity for this one. I'm not sure I have. Is that snapped? No, it's not. It's doing something incredibly wonky. There you go. Right, you, come here. Snap onto there. That's the ticket. And then press forwards. Alright, okay. Alright, we'll explore the new tunnel menu when we get to the next bit. What have we got the other side? Well, you've got a tools factory there that you're going to want to avoid. Ideally, I'd like to be able to turn that into an actual functioning tool outlet in the future somewhere. Okay, alright. Well, so far, so good. I'd possibly want to start the turn. If we're going to maintain any level of velocity here, we're going to want to just ease into the corner there, so that we're not trying to do 90 degrees all in one hit. Right, have a word. Well, that's better. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, let's celebrate by using Old Curvy. Yeah, we do like Old Curvy. Yeah, Old Curvy's a good one. It is. Right. Okay. Right, press on. So we'd swing around again, and then come out over here. Now, what's that slowed me to? 304. 304 is perfectly within tolerance. Yeah, do it. Oh, you can now select different tunnel styles per end. Oh, that's nice. Right. I am thinking that. Yeah, I've thought it, and it's been thunk. And there you go. You're forfeit, I'm afraid, because progress demands that I come straight through here. You've got a collage going on there. Now, am I going to want to increase my elevation to get to my destination? Yes. That is very obviously higher up than I am now, so I could possibly avoid this collision drama that we've got unfolding before our eyes here by elevating. The alternative would be to swing and avoid that. Well, let's do the alternative. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we can do that certainly. And keep rolling. Whoa! Gently does it. If we set 304 as our kind of base, and then everything else has to be kind of beyond that, because then we do have the Shinkansen option going for us. Alright, now, this is where things are going to get a little bit more delicate. I say delicate, I mean wonky. Are we about to throw 304 out the window? If you're going to play by the no tunnel rule, then yes. Alright, well, let's go 250 at least. Because that's a moderate to fair kind of a speed. Yeah, there's a tunnel. Yeah, I can see it. I'm spelling it out for the viewers at home. They can see it too. All right, okay. I think you have to tunnel. I don't have to tunnel. There are numerous ways that this can be conquered. Well, and in that case, what you should be talking about is conquering this first. Yeah, you've got this farm here. So if I'm following the tree line more or less, I'm quite happy to plough the fields. You're going to come out this way. Okay, yeah, let's pick up the other end. See how that goes. Well, the other end's already a tunnel. Yeah. This is what you were trying to avoid. Alright, okay. Well, look, let's see how quickly we can emerge. That's an emergence. Yeah, but you're going uphill. We don't want uphill. We want remaining flat, if at all possible. Okay, well, in that case, get used to a bit of a tunnel. Alright, okay. Coming out. I don't know. We could come out anywhere. Yes. How about that? Well, I think that's gonna leave you wanting a viaduct, and that's no help either. I mean, that said, we can go downhill, enjoy that tunnel. Yeah, all right. We could go downhill. We could go to about... Yeah, I don't like any of this. Go to about there. Right. And then get some... That's better. Right, go around here. And it's going to be viaduct time pretty soon. Unless you hang a brutally tough bit of cornering. I don't think a brutally tough bit of cornering is really our steam. You can't go over the top of that. And it doesn't matter how high you make yourself. You sure? Yes. You sure? Yeah, I'm totally sure. You cannot go directly over the top of the farm. Well, then this direction's no good then. You'd have to do something along these lines with a viaduct. Oh, this is not going to plan. No, this is it. This is tougher than you thought it was going to be. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hold on. Let's go to Plan X. What's that? Oh, that's bulldoze a lot and try and run it along the coast. It's bold. Yeah. I mean, you're going to need to change your approach line over there. Yeah, I know. We've got the wiggle room to accomplish that though. So that should be potentially viable. Potentially. Should be. Oh, you're speaking my language. Right. All of this is nothings. Right. Yeah. Right. You can clear off as well. What we'll do is we will do this complicated windy bit, and then we'll see if it looks happy afterwards. Stop trying to bulldoze trees. I mean, there's no harm in bulldozing a tree. Yeah, I know. Each one of them gives you 1,000th of a frame per second back again. Let's go. Really? You sure it's that many? All right. No, it's you probably get 1/10,000th of a frame back again per tree. Yeah. Maybe a little bit. Even it might even be 100,000th. Either way, I think we've gone down a black hole there that's impossible to calculate. I don't know. I imagine some enterprising individual would be prepared to put together I did nothing but trees in Transport Fever, and this is what it did to my frame rate. I've done 1,000 trees. People would be fascinated by that. You should do it. Really? Yeah, you'd have to do the voice. I would have to do the voice. Yeah, but I do think people would possibly subscribe to that kind of behaviour. Yeah. Is it not just mocking people that actually do these things legitimately? Nobody does these things legitimately. They're all just chasing the views. Oh, bold. Oh, I like the new menu. Or do I? I think I do. I think I do like the new menu. The JK girder bridge. We are a fan of the JK girder bridge that is going to sit just like that. That's very nice. It is, if a little bit overblown for this situation. It is a little bit overblown. All right, okay, let's do it. Hold on, you need that and then this. That's a bit more like it. It is. We seem to have thrown the old rules regarding the speed out the window, though. Yep. Needs must. We want to make this look good in a drama of a rail trip kind of a fashion. All right, if you say so. Yeah. Yeah, look, with that, this is, I mean, if this isn't drama of rail trip, I don't know what is. That's nice. Now, given that the side of the track that you've done here, that's not nice. You are potentially going to need to do a little bit of landscape modification in order to get this to run. What do you mean? Oh, it has worked. I was expecting this not to. Well, when we double track, I think the double track is going to be a little bit appalled, nay, dismayed at the proximity to the coastline that you've delivered here. Yeah, it's all good. Is it good? You've delivered on kind of the aim of that bit certainly, and then if we just go straight line up to here, well, there must be another option. You know what? I think there is. Yeah, I think there is. I think we get rid of the entire tunnel. I quite liked that bridge, but it's not the end of the world to remove it. Okay, all right, okay, yeah. That's what we're going to do. Right, I'm going to try and hook. Right, we're going to try and hook out that way, and then when we hit the right height, we'll try and stay at that height all the way along. Prepared to wiggle. The Shinkansenity of what we're building here has been put on the it's now a maybe rather than an almost certainly. Do you want to make sure you've got the right side of the track? You see, that's a level of thinking that only comes from having got the wrong side of the track on a couple of dozen occasions. Right, we're on left. Okay. All right. Left is what we're on, and we are on left. Yeah. Now, of course, not running a high speed on here might limit the number of people prepared to use it. The ideal, of course, would be that tons and tons of people want to use it, and therefore I can run, 5, 10, 15, 200 trains on there, and it will be constantly busy. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not pretend that it's going to go that swimmingly. You could have one there, can I? Still, no, it's still not appropriate. You're not high enough up to warrant that level of bridgification. See, that's perfectly acceptable. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a 140 corner, which is really, really would make a high-speed train a waste of money. Yeah, but we are ending up with this. You're going to get a beautiful view of the natural environment and the organic business of things. What on earth are you talking about? I'm trying to sell the picture postcard nature of this route that I'm attempting to construct. Well, it's not a picture postcard at the moment. It's a bit of a logistical nightmare. Yeah, I know it's going to work though. It all depends how fast we get around this corner to see if I'm going to need a rethink. That's not bad. 190. Well, given it dropped to 140 about 3 seconds ago, yeah, that's fine. Okay, right. Knock this back a little bit. Now, you're going to have the apex of the curb here is going to be right next to the farm, so you're going to probably want to. I am going to probably want to, but let's see how we get on with just first pass. Okay, actually, I don't hate that. I think that's the kind of subtle viaduct that would actually fit the environment. Now, I've been using this fella, which is fine, but it's not great. And also, why are you not doing this bit? No, because you brought that bit out separately and didn't build a bridge. Did I? Well, judge for yourself. All right, okay, hang on. Okay, no, it's good. Right, if you take this one down, this is your down section. Right. Not that much, though. That's too steeply down. All right, there you are. To about there. What do we think would look particularly sublime in this particular locale? That's nice. It would be the first time you've used that, and therefore maybe you're starting to get a little bit carried away with the bridge options. I try and make sure that I'm being somewhat consistent in the infrastructure I use. I might use 4 or 5 different styles, but we do try and maintain some level of similarity between what we're doing. This is just a weird bridge. I think it's designed for like short sections so that you've got this arch span going on. But it's not really designed for anything longer than that. What do we like? I don't know. We want to use something similar because they've changed the menu around. That's also making things a little bit more complicated. What about this yellow business? That could work. It only supports 140. Well, 140 is our min speed already, and we've got a probably 150, 160 corner coming up anyway. So I don't think we lose anything particularly by going that way. Right, and then we rock around the corner here and snap onto the end of that. If I can find the snap point on the end of that we're snapping onto at the end of that. I think you've found it. I think not only have you found it, but you've also snapped onto the end of the corner at the end of that you were intending to snap onto. Peekaboo. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure that's an appropriate word to use in this situation, but I'll allow it. So we were on left sides. Can I squeak that around there? Yeah. Can I squeak this around here? If you snap, you might. You were saying? Okay. Well, look. If it doesn't work, then I'll bulldoze the sea. And that will work. Right, have we actually finished this connection? Yes. Right, we've got a slightly abrupt corner there, which slows us too much. I could ease that out in order to maintain speed, but I'll be honest, I don't think I've got the trains for that anyway. What I've got is I've got trains that either do your kind of commuter shuttle-y sort of speeds, or the ones that move like grease flipping lightning. I don't believe there is any middle ground. Now, there are long enough sections here to make a grease flipping lightning train do something. But, yeah, there are also sections that will slow it right down, and its acceleration is not phenomenal. Good acceleration, yes. Phenomenal, no. So, I mean, you've got 190 here, and we hit 350 over there. It will not hit 350 in that amount of space. You'll be lucky to get to kind of 220, 230 in that time. And then you're doing 140 here. So you're possibly only going to limit to around, I don't know, 280, 300. That's still quite quick. It is quite quick, isn't it? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's just not, mind-numbingly quick. Would you say mind-numbingly? Mind-blisteringly quick. Oh, blistering one's mind. There's an image to conjure with. Yes. Okay, right, now that I'm going to... We're all done here by the screen. Oh, that's a 137. You know how you said you were going to rebuild this corner? Yeah, do so. Okay, yeah, there is sacrificing a bit of speed in order to make a manoeuvre, and then there is, bleeding off all your speed for no real benefit to anybody at all. And if it's worth doing, it's worth, getting an approximation of almost right, even if the perfect turn is not possible. Now, my methodology here is a relatively straightforward one, is that if you take out enough track like that, firstly, you could re-wiggle it into place. Perfectly reasonable way to go. But by the same measure, you can just go point A to point B, and you'll get the quickest run, probably. What do you mean? Well, look, if I do this now, all right, it's still got curves in there, but it's managed to keep the speed up. Maybe a little bit more tunnel than would be ideal, but it's not so much tunnel that it makes me go, oh, heavens to Betsy, no. So we'll keep that. We'll mix in the same bridge that we used further down, which is this Shanghai number, which is going to drop it to 140, because that's its limit. Ew. Yeah, what's wrong with this white business you've got over there? All right, I'll use the white business I've got over there. Any idea which one that is? Yeah, of course I haven't. Yeah, none of this is giving me any clues. Did I just do a lap? I don't know what you did, but you did it wrong. There you go, try that. Different. Okay, try this. Hold on, I can't rightly tell. Hang on. Different. But similar enough that we could just put that in and go, that's close enough for today. I appear to have done that. Well, goody. Right, and then we'll hook this up as well. So, I mean, it makes for a slightly neater corner. And frankly, if your track is a little bit all over the joint anyway, hooking it up in that kind of fashion, where you do it over a longer course, will ease out many kind of bumps and kinks and all of that kind of business as well. Right, we're there. Oh, we are, aren't we? Right. What are you going to... Let's talk route, kids. So we've got Yoshida here, and I don't think Yoshida's enough of a hub, or although it could well be. But then we start getting into the real excitement areas. You've got Ura, which is, magnificent, obviously. And then we have we've got the option to wherever that goes, which is... That's not an Uwajima route. Yeah, it is. That is the Uwajima route. This is the Izumimachi route. Ah, gotcha. Now, I would love to connect that far. Well, go on then. The problem is, this is more cannibalization. Bet it isn't. And also, so what if it is? More trains is more trains, Gov. Okay, well, let's go Uwajima then, because this is the most tasteful bit of station that I've got so far. It is a beast. Yeah, well, I want another beast. In the east, well, spookily enough, no. In the west, it is proper beast like. In fact, let's get it in motion. You two are just parked up over there, are you? Yeah. Well, we head out this way, Gov. I mean, there's no sense in us going any further. We've got this on. Oh, okay. You go the other way. I take it all back. You're shockingly disappointing to me. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look at actual line usage. Okay. I'm seeing potential. I'm seeing potential. I've got a line free. I've got 3 lines free. How the heck have I got 3 lines free? Oh, groovy. How have I got 3 lines free? I was pretty certain I'd used all of these, you know. Well, you know what you can do with your certainty. I guess I can shove it. You can indeed shove it. Okay, alright. Really? That doesn't feel... Is this 2 stations slapped together? No, it's not. Terminals. No, you're not using it. No, the only thing that's a bit wonky is that that you could probably split these up. So track 7. Yeah, why have I got it doing that? So track 7's over there. Yeah, and that's heading out over that way. Well, stuff track 7. That might be a terrible idea. You might break everything. Well, just remember where it was before. Okay, all right. So if we take you off track 7 and you've got 8, you're a 7. What if we put you on 3? No, let's put you on 2 and see if it breaks. You've broken it. Yeah. Have I? Yes. Have I? Yeah, it can't get to where it wants to go. Why not? Where do these lines actually run into? They all mix into the same flipping cattle feed. What's your problem? Why can't you get to where you need to go? You're going... Oh, you're go. Ah, you know you have to go 7. All right. Change this. All right, fine. No. You there. Go terminal 7. There you are. And you will have got confused by what I just said. So that's all right. If I fling you around and then fling you around again, you'll be golden. Right. Okay. No, it can't because these 2 lines don't go that way. No. Yeah, see, you've only got a limited number that will head out in that direction. So in that case, I am limited to the ones that aren't being used. So I am limited to. Well, no, I'm. Never mind. Well, let's go at track 3, and we'll call this high speed 3. I am going to try Shinkansen on this, and we'll see how we get on. So new lines. Yep. Okay, we're going to go Uwajima, and I want track 3. Okay, now we're away. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a test of whether the signalling you've got is sufficient or not. I would have thought it would be all right. I would expect you probably not. Anyway, out to Ura, out to Yoshida. Yeah. This is only going to be a 4-stopper. Nice. And then out to Akihama. Before coming back again the other way. Now, Yoshida's a complicated number because we need to run it. We've got 2 services that stop at Yoshida at the moment, and they're both terminating there. I think they're both terminating there. I'm not certain. See, look, you've got two-way business going on all over the place. Yeah. Oi, Brown. Why? Oh, I know why you're misbehaving. Yeah. See, so red swings over onto the top track as we look at it now, and then keeps going. Okay. Ah, blue is the one that is the turning around job. We can make the trains wait. Look, I'll let the train decide for itself. What we haven't got any kind of crossover going on down here. And something's unhappy with me. What are you unhappy? Train 10. Why are you unhappy? Just turn around and clear off. There you go. Right. Stop hassling me. Get out of my business. And yeah, and then once I stick a bit of a crossover of some description up here, this will at least run for now. and then we can make it run more compellingly when we stretch out further. And I think this is going to be an ideal situation for stretching out a little bit further. Right, let's pull it back up again. Hooray for us and all who sail in us. All right, golden. Yeah, we happy with that? Yep. Right, high speed 3. This line is going to go further. Yeah, I think we go beyond Akihama into somewhere more else. No, more else? Yeah, high speed 3. Yeah, we're going to take it all kinds of else. And that's going to be super. Right, signals. You've got those kinds of signals. You've got all of these that don't really exist. They're not real. No. So we'll go with Johnny Default and see how that does us. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go quite lightweight with signals as well, because if I am running high speed down here, then the spacing should not be that close together. And the easiest way to space stuff out is just leave a ruddy great section of track in between each signal block, and then you've got you've got your spacing kind of being built in for you. How many trains are we going to put on here? I'm going to start with 2. I think they're going to run at what we in the trade call a loss, but who knows? Right, so you're going to want one here. Yeah, you probably ought to put one for that track as well. Yeah, you don't really want to slow down your Shinkansen for some old commuter business. Some old commuter business. No, you don't. No, that's something you don't want to do. There you go. Then we've got signals up here. Yeah, and then it can figure out its own way through that station. Whichever way it chooses to go is going to be wrong in some fashion, but ultimately it should pay off. Yeah, and I'll tell you something else for nothing. What? The next map I play is not going to be as flaming enormous as this one. Good. Right, the last thing I have to do is remember where the heck the depot is. Hey, here we go, here's the depot. Right. Can this depot feed onto that line? Well, one would hope. You've done a semi-respectable job at laying this out, you know. Well, thank you. I have had some practice at this stuff. Yeah, I know, but you don't often put it into, you know, you don't put the effort in very often. Right, here we go. We've got all of this commuter business. We've got the Odakyu. What are you? 140. It's tasty looking, but I think I'll leave that for another time. Right, we've got the 700, which does 285, and that comes in a variety of different pleasing colours. The 800, which does 260. We've got the E2, which does 275, and then the E2 1000, which also does that much. Yeah. Now I did add another unit, which was a 49, but I'm not seeing it. No. I mean, we've got lots to choose from here, but I think this is genuinely suited to a higher speed service. If I had something that did like 200, that would be my preference. But I don't think we're gonna get it. 160 there. Yeah. No, go Shinkansen or bust, son. All right. Well, Shinkansen might make us bust, friend. Yeah. E2 1000s. Look, I'm not that big an expert to say for certain which way is the right way. 10 car set. That's too many. Yeah. 206 passenger limit. Never gonna happen. It isn't, is it? What about you? What have you got? 160 passenger limit. What I want here is I want a lower kind of passenger count, a nice short stock kind of effort. I'm thinking, 110, 120 as far as passenger counts are concerned. I'll stuff it. Let's use the 700 Rail Star because I haven't used that one yet. I'm fairly certain of that. We'll have 2 of them. This train is flaming enormous. It's 225 metres long. That's because you've put 2 of them together. Oh, okay. There you go. How's that? 198 metres. Yeah, that's slightly more manageable. Right. Okay. Acquire. Good. Now we find out whether it's going to be confused by this route. High speed 3 for you. Well, there is no confusion at the current time. No. But I've launched something out of this depot previously, and let me tell you, nothing is thrilled about coming out of this depot, because getting into the station is quite the challenge. This is quite a pleasing shot you've got going on here. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's already stopped. Look, we're going to be sat here rail fanning for a little while. Yes, we are. Alright, you know what else I'm going to do? What's that? Before the next episode, I'm going to turn off this Vulcan graphic business, because this juddery train business can do one. I might have a smooth frame rate, but if I'm not having smooth trains, I don't care. I'd rather have trains moving consistently at 15 frames a second than jerking along. Oh, how forthright of you. Right. It is there. Look, it's... Oh, that... I moved at the wrong time. There you go. Get back in. Get back in. There you go. It's mighty. And there's a train that could possibly do with ever such a small amount of maintenance. Yeah. Oh, what's this? This is kind of some sort of reverse kernel cam you've got going on here. I like it. Yeah, it's not bad. You're a little bit high up. A little closer to the ground would be nice. You can't have it all, son. Not clipping through that barrier would be nice as well. You can't have that either. Okay, there we go. Well, it's off. I don't know if these... Oh, no, it's platform 5. This is a platform 3 service, on which we have some people starting to rock up, going, high speed 3, you say? Well. You're going to be waiting a while. It's got to go all the way down the other end. Right, we do some kind of convoluted wiggle here, which a train of this nature is going to go, my friend, I'm really not built for this kind of manoeuvre. And then we're onwards. We're gonna ride on. This might not be the smoothest thing you've ever seen, but it will be something, and you'll have seen it. And therefore, you pays your money, you takes your chances. Off we trundle. Yeah, smaller map next time. Smaller map. Smaller map. There's absolutely no reason why something with as much fire breathing as this PC has, it should be getting caught up in sub-prime frames per second. Thank you very much. It's a good map though, isn't it? It is a good map. Oh, we held it a red. Okay, alright, good. Can't see the signal anymore. Okay, good. That's nice. Well, let's take a moment to appreciate the majesty of the universe. You know, you're going to get a better view if you look the other way. Yeah, I probably am. Yeah. That's some good headlights. I like it. Yeah, Ashley. Oh, yeah. Get right in. Get right up and personal with it. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure, everybody. That's it for this time. We'll leave these running. The overall plan is I'm going to take an idea that I've pursued previously. I'm going to run a freight main line around the western side of the map, and we'll see how that goes. Badly is the main answer, but I want to get some freight in there some passengers in there first, because then I'll have some infrastructure to work with. Yeah. If you didn't see the mainline series in Transport Fever 1, it's largely why I have any viewers at all, because that was the business. Although some people will say, no, Gothard Barn, mate, that was the high water mark. And they kind of go, the mainline was good though, wasn't it? You go, yeah, but you cheated. You kind of go, I might have cheated, but it still ended up looking pretty ruddy spectacular. Right, I'll catch up with you very soon. I'm just going to muck around with camera angles for ages, it seems. I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio. Hello, viewers. Today's outro comes courtesy of Fail Brigade member extraordinaire Dr. McDackey, who is a regular about these parts. And he says, in last year's birthday outro, you said that in the upcoming year, you were going to buy some yoga pants and take up yoga. So the question on everybody's mind is, of course, did I? I'm changing you and I and that kind of stuff. No, I didn't. No, I meant to, still meant to. It's on my list of things that I mean to do, but have I? No, I haven't got around to it. It's equal parts reluctance to make that first move, and there's always something going on. you know, and it doesn't really matter what it is that you're going to do, you will find stuff gets in the way unless you make it a high priority to go and do it. If you make it a high priority, nothing can get in the way because you've elevated it to be the #1 thing on your list. But as it turns out, it's always been at number, oh, I don't know, let's say 11 on the list, and as such I haven't got to it. I should. You know, I'll definitely feel the benefits of it, and I think I'll look particularly resplendent in a pair of yoga pants. But anyway, no, it's still on there, but I'll have to be honest with you, I don't think I'm any closer to doing it in the next 12 months as I was in the past 12 months. That this is, it's an acceptance that I have lofty schemes that often don't come off because I have too many lofty schemes. If I had fewer, I'd have a much better hit rate, but I have more, and therefore they don't come off quite as frequently. But it does mean that some often do come off, and once in a while I will double down or redouble my efforts in order to try and make something occur where historically evidence would point to the non-occurrence of said thing being all the more likely. Anyway, let's move on to part 2. As for me, it's been a good year. Hey! My research on using AI to model neural activity in the brain continues to go well. Good. But recently I've decided to leave science behind and become a professional singer or starving artist more likely. Any thoughts? Okay, so let's first examine the word professional. Now, we've had this conversation before. Vis-a-vis, let's assume for the sake of argument that you're good at this, right? It doesn't matter whether this is being a singer or an artist or a dancer or a YouTube personality. It would have been all too easy for me to jack in my day job and just power making videos left, right and centre. And I'll tell you something, I'd have had to go and get a real job. I'd have had to go and get a full-time job had I done that, even after the ball started rolling a little bit on making an income off what I do on YouTube. So what I've done instead is continue to apply pressure as much as I can on doing the YouTube stuff, while then gradually dropping the amount of day job that I do to keep my income pretty much level. And the balance right now is 3 days a week working, 2 days a week working on YouTube. I mean, I know which one I enjoy more, but I'm fortunate in that I enjoy both parts of my job, so it's good. And actually being able to ping pong between the two keeps both of them fresher, because I'm not I'm neither lusting after or aspiring towards something that I'm not doing, because I am making progress in that area, which is working for myself, but simultaneously I haven't got the pressure of I'm not making as much money as needs be to furnish me with the lifestyle that I'm used to, and therefore it's kind of a happy balance, and bouncing between the two keeps both of them fresh, which means that I'm very happy doing the work that I do on a salaried basis, and I'm very happy doing the work that I do on an aspirational basis. It keeps the two in a good yin yang kind of a fashion. They are well balanced. I mean, I do too much work. I know that for a fact, is that I unwind by doing more work, and quite a lot of it you never see it, but an equal amount of it you do actually get to see, and that's nice too. I've just broken a render by whipping the memory card out. Oh no! Oh, actually, that could be quite bad. Yeah, I think it kind of... I'll finish this off, shall I? And then I'll see if I have, in fact, broken my... I think I've probably broken my render. Okay, all right. Well, I'll go back to that in a moment. Anyway, so, becoming a professional singer. Let's first examine the word professional. Professional means you get paid... Yeah, it's broken. You get paid in exchange for the services you provide. Right. So, step one... Have you yet been paid for singing? If you're going to jack in your job and you've yet to be paid for a singing gig, then that's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's bold, but it's foolish, because you have, I mean, I'm going to assume nothing right now, okay, is that you're just going to kind of go like, hello work, I quit, I'm off, bye-bye, and go off and then go, right, day one of being a professional singer, I know how to sing, where's the money? Anything at all? I'm going to assume you've done some research, right? Or floated some stuff up on SoundCloud, or applied to join a professional choir, or you've had a paid gig as in an operatic sense. I mean, I know that you're a classical leaning vocalist, but at the same time, have you examined how much work there is for a classical leaning vocalist? Maybe you're not planning to be to get gigs in the way. I come from a long line of musicians, and my mum's in her 70s, and she's still she's a professional cellist, and she runs orchestras and quartets and trios, and she does teaching as well, and she makes a very poor living. In a monetary sense, a very rich living in terms of fulfillment, but in a monetary sense, a very poor living. Now, money is not the be-all and end-all. I would say that actually it is as far away from the be-all and end-all as it's possible to be, and that being happy in what you're doing is far more important. But you do have to put a roof over your head, and you do have to put food on the table, and if you've got a family, you've got to make sure that you've got them supported, and you've got retirement that looms and gets closer all the ruddy time. So how's that going to work? Now, I hate to be the voice of practicality rather than go son, chase your dreams. But the fact of the matter is that the world is not rigged for artists to make a living. It just doesn't work like that. Anyway, step number one: join a musicians union. That's the other strong background piece that I've got. My dad ran the Musicians Union London branch for 10 years, and before that it was Birmingham, and before that he'd been an area secretary, an area organiser for ages. Join the union. It, if nothing else, it gives you, well, when I was a member, it gave me 3 million quid's worth of public liability insurance, which would have come at about the same cost as membership. Had I organised it separately, which means if you're performing a gig and your amplifier blows up and you kill 1,000 people, well, 3 million quid's worth of the damages that you will then be sued for, you're covered. It's worth having. Anyway, but more than that, they'll ensure that it's great for networking, for starters. But beyond that, it can help with introductions and that kind of stuff. But it comes back to the same thing. Professional means you get paid for it, right? It doesn't just mean you do it all the time. You can say you're a professional writer, but if no one's paying you, you're just a writer. You write for a hobby. Something you don't get paid for is either charitable work, voluntary work, or it's a hobby. Well, if you're independently wealthy, if you've got, 5-6 million quid in the bank and you can live happily off the interest and you own your own home and all that kind of business, knock yourself out, go for your life. I suspect, however, given that you're not backing me at 500 quid a month, that isn't the case. It's boring advice, and you're not even asking for advice. You're just asking for an opinion, and this is my opinion. You already know the answer. If you didn't know the answer, you wouldn't be asking the question. And that's a great thing to say to people. Anyone who goes, "Do you think I should do this?" What you're looking for is a validation of what you already know, and what you already know is either, yeah, I can make a go of this, or I really shouldn't make an attempt right now. Let's then hypothetically say, no, you've never been paid for a professional gig. Step one, stay in the gig you've got, get a professional paid gig. Put yourself out on Fiverr. There's worse things you could do. I bet there's singers on Fiverr. Go and audition for a few things. Go and get yourself something that puts money in your back pocket. And see if there is an appetite locally for more of that kind of thing. Breaking news, I bet there's a ton of people looking. I bet there's a bunch of people who've been to the Academy of Music and are eking out a living, making what kind of money they can. If you're in a recording mood, right? So let's say you're not planning on doing live and you're planning on doing recording based stuff. You done your recordings yet? Have you got it? Have you got that done? You know, proper recordings with sound booths and microphones and all that kind of business, and an engineer who's mixed it correctly, and then you've put together some kind of package. How big's your following? If you've got a nice big following of people that like your music, well then surely you don't need my permission to go off and do it. You can start selling them your first couple of albums, and rock and roll and money in the bank and all that kind of business. But if you haven't tried it, you don't know how tough it is. That's the thing, is there is a difference between having the skills to do something and then trying to apply them in a commercial fashion. The assumption of just because you can do something means someone's going to pay you for it. Yeah, maybe they will. But at the same time, you don't know that. You don't have the network. You don't have the contacts to make that happen. You're probably going to want an agent to get your gigs. If you assuming you've got talent and assuming that the agent in question has the ability to line stuff up. Oh, geographically, where are you? Are you near, let's say, 20 different venues that support the kind of music that you're going to be performing? Because they're not all going to be looking all the time for someone to be doing that kind of thing. Or are you thinking, oh, I could go and work on a cruise ship? Perfectly legitimate way to go. An awful lot of big names end up working on cruise ships. It's the UK equivalent of Vegas, effectively, is that you go on a cruise ship and do stuff around there. There is no UK Vegas where they need entertainment all the time, and therefore they'll book people for big extravagant shows to try and win them away from the hotel just across the street. Doesn't work like that in the UK. I would say unless you're in that London, maybe that Birmingham, you're gonna maybe at a push Manchester, Liverpool. Where else might work? Kind of Sheffield, Leeds area, but you're getting away from the kind of audience, the kind of audience that en masse consumes the kind of music that you're thinking of doing. But you need to be where the work is. And once again, are you? What sort of work is there nearby? I mean, let's assume, have you got a car? Because transport's a thing. You're going to have to get to wherever it is you're performing. Assuming you're performing, this is the stuff that you need to have in place before you throw your meal ticket out the window, only to go, oh, I need a meal, and go into it. Start investigating, and in fact, there's nothing to stop you doing it. If you're in a scientific gig, most of the time it's going to be like a 9 to 6 job, right? 9 to 5, 9 to 6 job, Monday to Friday. Your weekends are free. Breaking news, weekends are when most musical live performance gigs happen. So that's when you are going to, that's when you're going to get gigs. You should be getting them now. If your live performance is your thing, then you need to be at a position where you're working every single weekend. And the reason for jacking in your main job is because you're exhausted and your order book for more gigs is overflowing. Because for an awful lot of jobbing musicians, you know what one of their main gigs is? Weddings. An operatic style singer, weddings, there's a market for that. I bet it's crowded, but at the same time, there's a market for that. Here's a parallel. My mum's string quartet has been working for 25, 30, 35 years, something like that. And when they started out in East Anglia, which is the region that I live in, when they started out, she was one of like 2, 3 quartets, and she was charging a couple of £100 for a gig, which was good money, right? It wasn't bad. You know how much she's charging now, a couple of decades later? Same money. Hasn't gone up. And the reason being that as time goes on, the number of, here's the amount earned, here's the number of different quartets offering that service. So over time, we were talking about this just the other weekend, and she was saying that she's never earned more than she is doing now, and she's been earning that for 20, 30 years, and that's not adjusting for inflation either. That is not inflation adjusted. The money has not changed. She's gone from a market that she dominated with her quartet into one that is now oversaturated with availability, and she's in her 70s and still loves doing it, and gets a fantastic response from people. She's got a medal from the Queen for her services to music, but the competition are all coming up, and they're lithe young 20-somethings. And people getting married kind of go, oh, lithe young 20-somethings, all bang out a couple of tunes. You kind of go, yeah, but my mum's library of music, she's got like 1,500 arrangements for string quartets that she's done. And if she were to just publish those, she'd have a passive income. That'd be lovely. Anyway, there you go. In a circuitous kind of a way, you already knew the answer, didn't you? Didn't you? You did. You did know the answer already. And as much as it might not bring you joy and fervour, you've got to start now. Start while you're getting paid, and don't. It's the age-old. Don't jump to a new job don't leave your old job until you've got a new job. Don't leave your old job until you've got a new job. Deciding that it's a job ain't going to make anyone pay you. You've got to wait until people want to pay you, then you can jump. I am the Good News Pixie, and I'm happy to furnish you with this piece of opinion. I don't know if you've already started or not. You haven't spoken about it, but I'm assuming you haven't, which is why you're asking the question. If you have, and you're finding actually demand outstrips supply in terms of your time, then you're probably making the right move. You've got to keep the lights on before you can go off and nobly exist, unless someone's going to give you permission to build a yurt in their back garden that you can then inhabit in your bohemian way. Well, in a bohemian way, I wish you well, and I'll be sporting yoga pants at some point, but it might be when I'm a little bit less busy. Thank you very much for your question. It's always a delight. Cheerio.